all the resources of the federal government, talking with his aides as he can, and preparing to fly back to Washington to, again, as we said, convene a National Security Council meeting. Back to you.
Major, before you get away, and I apologize if I'm asking you to repeat something, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Do we know exactly where the president was when he was told?
He was just arriving here in Sarasota at Emma E. Booker Elementary School. He had taken an early morning jog this morning in Sarasota, had just arrived here with a presidential motorcade. Then the spectacular, horrific pictures began appearing on television sets here at the elementary school. The president received a telephone call from Condoleezza Rice, National Security Advisor. Then he received an update from his chief of staff, Andrew Card, traveling with him. Then it was made clear to the press, traveling with the president, he would make a statement. Shortly before that statement, he was actually sitting down with some children here at the elementary school, reading them a book. Reporters asked him if he knew about the situation with the Twin Towers. He nodded and said he would talk about it.
Being allowed to head into the city. For all intents and purpose, all train service suspended is what we're hearing at this point. Police are saying, please leave the city if you can. Of course, this is rough because of the way traffic is right now. You really, really want to steer clear of anywhere south of Midtown. And again, everyone right now being turned away. We saw traffic trying to get into the Lincoln Tunnel, actually turning around and backing up buses, New Jersey Transit buses, bringing people back into New Jersey, never even making it close to the entrance to the Lincoln Tunnel.
Katie, what do you think right now would probably be the best way to get out of Manhattan, probably head up the FDR and the West Side Highway?
At this point, you're going to want to try and get as north as possible. I can see from one of my cameras live right now the westbound Cross Bronx heading in towards the outbound George Washington Bridge. Traffic is in an absolute crawl right now, but they are letting you get onto the bridge and, from what it looks like, come in over it and back into New Jersey. I do see traffic coming outbound George Washington Bridge, inbound again, completely.
Well, there's very little that air traffic can do at all. If somebody actually manages to gain access to a cockpit and manages to gain control of an aircraft controls, then there's very little that anybody can do. Our aim has got to be to keep these people off, keep such people off these aircraft, and certainly American carriers in general, and keep their cockpit doors closed. But of course, somebody pulls out a weapon on board a passenger jet and demands that a flight attendant take them into the cockpit. One can only hold back for so long.
Would a pilot of a jumbo jet have been at the controls, do you think, when it slammed into these two buildings, even with a gun at his head?
Well, I'm sure that any pilot would have taken any steps to try to avoid crashing their aircraft into a densely populated
verantwortlich ist. Bush hatte übrigens auch noch gesagt zu dem nach Vielleicht kurz zur Erklärung, wir sind ja hier dauernd live dabei. Wir werden in ungefähr einer Minute noch einmal für die Zuschauer, die sich erst jetzt zugeschaltet haben, eine